I'm just going to take you through some warm-up exercises for some Pilates. I'm Andrea from Primary Pilates, and to start with, this is just to get the joints mobilised, to warm up that synovial fluid and to get you into the breathing as well. So we're going to start with the first warm-up exercise, which is just to get into your breathing. So I want you to be sitting with your knees and your feet hip distance apart and your spine in neutral, your arms just relaxed down by your sides, okay? And you're just going to inhale into the lower parts of your rib cage. So you're expanding your ribs to the front and to the sides. So you're inhaling through the nose, and then you're going to exhale through pursed lips, like you're blowing out a candle or you're blowing through a straw. So again, inhale into the bottom parts of the lungs, expanding the rib cage to the front and to the sides, and then exhaling through those pursed lips. And by that forced exhalation, you're going to be engaging your deepest core muscle, so your transverse abdominis muscle. And at the same time, you are sucking those shoulder blades, so your scapula to the back of the rib cage, okay? So it's an inhale through the nose and the exhale through those pursed lips. So keep that pattern going whilst I'm talking. So you're trying to relax the shoulders and you're trying to take that air down to the bottom of the lungs, so the best area for gaseous exchange. So again, inhale through the nose and exhale through those pursed lips, okay? So a few more times of that. So just inhaling in through the nose and exhale through those pursed lips again, engaging that deepest core muscle, your transverse abdominis muscle. So we're also now going to just go into some imprint and release. So I'm going to get you to lie back down onto your backs. If you need a small block behind your head, then have that block behind your head. You want your eye gaze looking directly up towards the ceiling. So this is a position with your spine neutral, so you have a little bit of a gap behind the lumbar spine. So draw the shoulders into a neutral position as well. Your alignment is with your knees and your hips hip distance apart. Sorry, your knees and your feet hip distance apart. So imprint and release. So you're going to inhale with your spine in neutral, so your pelvis is nice and level and flat. As you exhale, you're going to engage your obliques, your side tummy muscles, to help imprint your lumbar spine. So inhale, rock it back to that neutral, so you can slide your hand behind your lumbar spine. Exhale, engage those muscles, your obliques, tummy muscles, to imprint the lumbar spine. So we're just mobilising those lumbar vertebrae. Again, inhale in neutral, and then exhale, rocking the pelvis back, so you're imprinting your lumbar spine. Keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed. Again, inhaling in through the nose, exhaling as you imprint your lumbar spine. Keep that pattern going. You're trying to make sure that you imprint your vertebrae and then come back to your neutral position. You're trying to relax your glutes as well, so you're trying to use these side tummy muscles rather than your bum muscles to do the work, okay? So two more. Exhale as you rock back. Inhale as you come back to neutral. Now we're going to do something called hip release. I'll get you to do it by staying with your head and shoulders down, so your eye gaze is still up towards the ceiling. Alternatively, you can come up to elbows, and I'm going to do this just so that I can talk to you a bit more easily. If you do come up onto your elbows, you keep your shoulders, you keep everything nice and neutral here, so we're not sinking down and flexing our spine there, our upper spine, our thoracic vertebrae. You engage those tummy muscles, so you're keeping a nice neutral spine. And we're going to just do the releasing off the hips. So as you breathe in, You're going to let your right knee drop out, and you're also going to push the foot away at the same time. And as you exhale, you're drawing that knee back in towards you to the start position. So inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, and then inhale, taking the leg away, take the foot away, exhale, draw it back in. The whole time your foot stays in touch with the mat. Okay, now we're going to reverse it. So you'll stay with the right leg, rotate the knee in, push the foot away, turn that knee all the way out and back to the start position. Inhale, take the foot away, you've rotated medially, now you're rotating the knee out to the side, so out to the lateral. The whole time you're keeping your pelvis nice and steady, so your pelvis isn't rocking from side to side as we're doing this exercise, and you're also keeping those abdominals engaged, so keeping the spine nice and neutral. And one more in this direction. And now switch legs. So inhale as you drop your left knee out and push that foot away, and breathe out as you draw that foot back in along the mat. Inhale, take the foot away. Exhale, draw it back in. 2 more on this side. Inhale and exhale, and then 1 more. So basically you're taking your hip through its full range of movement, okay? So now we're going to reverse it. So you rotate the knee medially, so it's going in, turning in towards the right leg. Then you take the knee out to the side and back up. Now you're going to do 3 more on this leg. Inhale, take the leg away. Exhale, bring it back in. And 1 more. And exhale, lovely. Okay, so we're now going to move into just warming up the spine a little bit more. So we're going to do some spinal rotation. Okay, so you can have your arms, if you've got a mat and you're on the floor, you can actually lay your arms out to the sides, but I'm just going to rest them down onto the reformer. So I'm laying on the reformer here, using it like a mat. And what we're going to do is we're going to float 1 leg at a time up into tabletop position. So when you're in tabletop, you imprint your lumbar spine, so you lose that gap behind the lumbar spine. Okay, your legs are in like a tabletop position, your knees are over your hips, and your shins are nice and flat. So imagine you can balance a cup of tea or a gin and tonic on top of there. So relaxing the shoulders but engaging the scapula into a nice neutral position, keeping your spine imprinted. You're going to inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, you're going to take the knees over to the side. You're focusing on keeping the shoulder blades in touch with the mat the whole time. Then you take a deep breath in, and then exhale. Bring the knees back up towards the ceiling. Again, inhale to prepare. Exhale, lifting through the right side of my hip now. I'm trying to keep my knees nice and level, and I'm trying to keep my shoulders in touch with the mat. Take a deep breath in there, and then exhale, bring those knees back up to the midline. Inhale to prepare, keeping your spine imprinted. Exhale, rotate, taking the knees over. You'll feel that stretch through your hip area, through your spine as you do the nice rotation. Take a breath in, and then exhale, engage those tummy muscles to bring your knees, keeping them in a tabletop position if you can. Keep that pattern going. Exhale, take the knees over, shoulder blades in touch with the mat. Inhale and exhale. Bring those knees back up to the midline. Inhale, exhale. Take the knees over. Feel that rotation. Shoulder blades down in touch with the mat the whole time. And feel that stretch there. So take a breath in and engage those tummy muscles. And we've got to go 1 more to the left just to even things up. So inhale to prepare. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bring those knees back up to the midline, placing one foot down at a time. It's especially important if you do have any lower back pain or lower back injuries, that you just try and strengthen the abdominals while bringing one leg up at a time, so you're not overstraining the abdominals, which then puts some strain on the lumbar spine, okay, and the lower back. So we're going to do some spine curls. Okay, so we're going to actually roll your spine up off of the mat by lifting the hips. So we'll have your feet and your knees hip distance apart. You start with your spine in neutral and you take away any blocks that are behind your head if you have one. Arms are down by your side. If you want to make it slightly more challenging, though we are still up in the warm-up phase, you can put your hands together in front of the chest, just so you're not tempted to push through your hands. Okay, so you take a breath in to prepare, and as you breathe out, you're going to rock the pelvis back, so you're imprinting your lumbar spine, and then you squeeze the glutes, and you lift up to a full shoulder bridge position. You're looking to try and have your shoulders and your knees in line, so you've got a nice straight line through the body. As you take a breath in, you're trying to lengthen those knees away from you, and as you exhale, you're melting down vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling, almost massaging it into the mat. Take a breath in with your spine in neutral, breathe out, roll back through that imprint, lift up to the full shoulder bridge, inhale, lengthen those knees away from you, exhale, melt down, one vertebrae at a time. You're trying to go down nice and evenly, like landing down on a runway. Let's go for two more. Inhale, exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lengthen those knees away from you, and then use that breath, roll your spine down. Then one more, inhale to prepare, exhale, roll back. Okay, lifting up into that full shoulder bridge position. Inhale there and then melt yourself down. Ooh, lovely. Okay, so just to warm up the neck slightly, just to get waking up that deepest neck muscle, so your neck flexor muscle. We're just going to go through the head nod. Now this is a very small movement, and it doesn't feel like you're doing very much at all, but it is important just to try and understand this. So your head is one of the heaviest parts of your body, and it sits up on top of your spine, obviously. It's a hinge joint, and what we want to do is we want to just practice dropping the chin down so that we engage our deepest neck flexors. So we call it the head nod, or just to rock that head forward. So basically you start with your eye gaze straight up towards the ceiling, and imagine you're going from like a red traffic light down to a green traffic light. That's as big as the movement is. So you just drop the chin down. You can still get your fist underneath here. You're not jamming it down too hard, but that is just to engage those deepest neck flexors. Your head is still in contact with either the mat or the block, if you're using a block now. So you drop your chin down, your eye gaze is gone from your red traffic light to your green traffic light, but you're lengthening the back of the neck. So just feel like you're lengthening the back of your neck. Inhale, look up towards the ceiling again. Exhale, rock the head forward. Sorry, it's slightly difficult to talk whilst you're doing this. And we'll do two more. And there we go, and one more. Okay, so that's really the start of your warm-up. So you've warmed up now, we've mobilised some of those joints in your body, and we've started to get into the breathing. Now you can move on to some of the